Hello, 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 and welcome to another live ukulele jam with me, Matt Stead. Super excited tonight because we've got a really nice selection of songs. We've got a bit of Bob Dylan to get us going. We've got Coldplay, a bit of indie music for us. True Colours from Cyndi Lauper, something completely different and pop-tastic. And we've got Sound and Vision by David Bowie. So we're going with a coloured theme today. We've got Wrapped Up in Blue, Yellow, True Colours, and then Sound of Vision is our people's choice. So loads and loads of fun stuff coming up, which is really exciting. Oh, loads of you here already. Fantastic. I've seen loads of you on the chat. Don't forget to have your community chat, your live chat box open, and then you can join in and talk with, join in all the conversation, which I absolutely love to do. Hi everyone. So we'll do a little kind of update of everything that's going on in a minute. Let's just say hi to everyone. Is it chilly where you are? It's gone cold here. Yeah, it's gone really cold here. I've heard up north, isn't there snow coming up north in the UK? I think we've got coming up soon. It's getting properly cold. I'm kind of ready for it. It's a bit weird here at the moment because where I work, it's really beautiful because all the roses are still in bloom. We've got like these red, orange, white, rambling roses, all sorts all over the place. But it kind of feels like September, not nearly December. It must be global warming or something. But it's yeah, very strange. But at least it brings a bit of joy, doesn't it? Parky, yeah, good old English term that, isn't it? Proper parky out. I love it. Or brass monkeys, that's the other one. Do you know that? It's brass monkeys. That comes back to old ships way back when, and the rails, I think it was, that held the cannonballs were called brass monkeys, and when the weather got cold enough they would shrink and the cannonballs would fall onto the floor, so that's where the term brass monkeys comes from. I don't know why I'm talking about brass monkeys, sorry guys. Let me just tell you about a couple of things that are coming up in the next week. First one, which I'm really excited about to share, is that the Beatles course is well underway now. So I've done the first two lessons. We've got Penny Lane for the first one. Then I thought one of you, I can't remember which one of you it was, asked if I could do a version of Dear Prudence. So that's the one that went up on Friday. There's a lovely version of Dear Prudence, and I use these lovely kind of picking pans. As well as line cliche, to get lots of kind of really exciting things happening in that one. Loads of working on dynamics and things like that as well. So yeah, super exciting. So that one's available now. The Beatles course, I'm going to do a new video every week, possibly 2 weeks, depending on how tricky they are. The next one might take a couple of weeks, just because I'm doing quite a sophisticated chord melody version of one of their songs, but that will be here before now. Gold members of my website, Learn Ukulele with Matt, mattsteadukulele.com. You get all this at no extra cost. Just make sure you go to the Learn and then click Learn More and Join, and then you can enroll on the course. Doesn't cost anything to gold members, but just make sure you enroll on it, and then you'll be able to access all of the lessons, which is super exciting. You might have noticed in the top right corner, we've got our cruise countdown. We forgot to do it last week, but we're back to it. 103 days for anyone that's counting. If you're on the fence about it, you haven't got a ticket yet, still well worth doing. We've got a few tickets available. Get in touch with Harry and Donna. We're going to have a beautiful cruise around the Caribbean. I'm going to teach you all sorts of cool ukulele, which is really exciting. And then we've also still got some tickets left for our winter Christmas retreat. It's the first time we've ever done a Christmas retreat, which is really exciting. We've got Victoria Vox coming all the way from America. Will Grove White, he used to play in the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain. Plus our resident tutor, Samuel, who you guys all know is an absolutely fantastic tutor. That's 9th until the 11th of December in the Forest of Dean. It's going to be so much fun. I cannot wait. It's going to be amazing. amazing. We're going to have some Christmas food. We're going to sing carols. We're going to learn loads of great new ukulele tricks. And we're going to have some extras as well that we've not had at the retreats before. Will's going to give a talk on his time at the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain. And Sam's going to give a talk about Renaissance guitar and some other things as well. So loads of exciting things at this one. All the details for that is on the Ukulele Festival of Great Britain site. Just Google Ukulele Festival of Great Britain and you'll find it there. Right, so there's one more thing. My live lesson is coming up this Wednesday at 3:30. We're going to take a look at Good Riddance. A lot of people know this as Time of Your Life because that's the main lyric from it. And I'm going to show you how you can take really simple chords and take them up the fretboard to make other really beautiful, sophisticated sounding chords, but really easy, as opposed to some of those really tricky bar chords. It's a nice way of moving up the fretboard, but in a really friendly and accessible way. So I'm quite excited about that. That's going to be this Wednesday at 3:30. Okay then, guys, let's have a look at our sheets for tonight then. I'll bring them on screen here. So, as I say, we've got a coloured theme tonight. We've got, that's my, yeah. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can get a clean copy of that, because you don't want the version with all my notes all over, because that looks really messy. Give me a second and I'll bring up a better version of that. So we're going to start with a bit of Bob Dylan, which is going to be absolutely brilliant, because we all love Bob Dylan. It's very long, this one, is the only thing that I will warn you. Let me just make sure that's on. Go. Airdrop. Yep. Don't seem to be able to get a clean copy of that. We might have to use my one with all the notes on. Let's just see. Go. Here we go. Right. Okay. Let me send that one on. Sorry, guys. This isn't very interesting watching me do this, is it? But once I've done it, we've got it up there then. Okay, so airdrop, iMac. Cool. All right. Go. That's more like it. So now, yay! So basically the other version had all my notes scribbled all over it, which is kind of interesting in some ways, but it looks really messy and it's kind of embarrassing seeing my terrible handwriting with my stylus all over the place. So here's the clean ones. So we're going to start with a classic Bob Dylan song, Tangled Up in Blue. Lots of you will know this from Blood on the Tracks. This was the first song on Blood on the Tracks, which I think is probably Dylan's strongest album. It's just incredible. After he came back from his motorcycle accident, it's really sad. He wrote this after he was splitting up with his partner, so it's got a lot of kind of sad songs on it, and this one has a real kind of touch of melancholy. 1975, this one, for anyone that's into their years. So remember, for Kanikapila, we give all of our chords numbers 1 through to 7. So we're in the key of G for this song. That means G is going to be our 1 chord. And then we can literally just count up G, A, B, C, D, E. And because we're in the key of G, every key has a certain amount of sharps and flats. In the key of G, the F is played as an F sharp. Generally, we're going to do something different in a minute. And some of those key chords are minor: G, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, and then the F sharp diminished at the end. Each of those chords has its own personality. We tend to start a song on the 1 chord, and that's no exception here. Yeah, isn't it wonderful? Yeah, absolutely. Esther's sketches are fantastic tonight, because there's some brilliant ones tonight. So we start with the 1 chord, G, to set us off on our journey, which is what you would imagine. Then in this song, it's really unusual. We have the 2 chord next. The flatted 7th chord next. Now, this is a real bluesy thing to do, which kind of fits in with the title of the track, I guess. But it's also something that a lot of indie bands did. The Beatles did use this a lot. Technically, they call it using the Mixolydian mode, but we're not going to go into all that fancy pants detail tonight. But just know any time an F comes up in this song, it's just going to be your plain Jane, ordinary F. And that's just going to give a touch of the blues, if you like, or a touch of R&B to the song. It has a slightly darker edge than the F sharp. Okay, Now there's a slight accident on the sheets for Tangled Up in Blue. All the rest of them are fine, but we mucked up Tangled Up in Blue. I only realised, Esther and Karen, about an hour ago. It's my bad. I should have checked through it. So that third chord along on the first line is actually a G. All right. So if you can just change that third chord along to a G. It's easy to remember anyway, because basically all we have is a G to an F, and then a G, not a C, to an F, another G to an F, and then remember the 4 chord in any key is about creating a sense of change, and it's really important at this point because it feels like we've got locked into this kind of playoff between the 1 and the 4 and the flat 7 chord. G, F, G, F, G, F, and then the change of the C. All right, so that's what we've got going on in the verses. Each of those boxes is going to be a measure or 4 beats. So at its simplest, you could just strum down 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple as that, right? Don't worry, there's a few. We've forgot off a few verses as well, Esther. I don't know what it might be me. I probably didn't photocopy enough, but don't worry, we'll sort it out. It'll be absolutely fine. Now, strum pattern for this one, I like to do a down, 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 up, down, up. Now, you know I like to think of things phonetically, how they sound rather than ups and downs, because I think ups and downs stress people out. Think of this pattern as walk, walk, running, running, walk, walk, running, running, walk, walk, running, running. Slower, walk, walk, running, running, walk, walk, running, running. You can think of it as down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. Now we're playing this at quite a fast tempo, so eventually you want to get it to about here. Walk, walk, running, running, walk, walk, running, running. So if I was to do a verse, it would sound something like this. G, F, G, F, G, F, C. There you go. And I'll give you an idea how that would sound with the words. Early one morning, the sun was shining. I was laying in bed, wondering if she changed at all, or if her hair was still red. Her folks, they said our lives together sure was gonna be tough. They never did like Mama's homemade dress. Papa's bank book wasn't big enough. So it's got that real kind of just driving rhythm to it, which is really, really, really lovely. And we play each of those twice for each of the verses, basically. So play through the whole of that twice, and you'll be fine. All right. Then we go to the verse. This is where things change, and we've got the 5 chord G, A, B, C, D. In this case, a D major, and that creates a real tension. If I just hang it there, really feels like it wants to go somewhere. And Bob Dylan really liked to play chords that are diatonic above each other. So when he plays a D, he loves going to an E minor because you feel like that rising tension. So let me come in on close camera again. A couple of ways you could play as D. You could either do a bar version. You could use one finger and just lift up like so. Or I like to just squish all 3 fingers in the 2nd fret. E minor, back to G, so you feel a sense of resolution. But because it doesn't want to rest there, we have that change chord, the 4 chord. And we just do that twice. D, E minor, G, C. Thanks, Esther. D, E minor, G, C. Then we hang on the D for 2 chords. Then we have that final payoff, F, C, G. That's the lovely Tangled Up in Blue. And we stay on G chord for quite a while at the end. I'll stay on close camera just for a second, and let's do a whole chorus so you can see how it works. We've written it as the bridge on the other page, but you can think of it as a chorus as well. It's absolutely fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. As I was standing at the side of the road, rain falling on my shoes, heading out for the East Coast. Lord knows I paid my dues, getting through, tangled up in blue. Now, as you rest on this G chord, if you want, you could add little sus notes, like put down your little finger on the 3rd fret of the A string for a sus4. Or you could turn it into a sus2 by taking away the 2nd finger. Or you can combine them. Just creates a really nice kind of bit of texture there in the middle bit, which is really lovely. Thanks, Lisa. You know, I always do my Bob Dylan impressions. The news are paying the dues. But even when I don't mean to, I seem to put on a Bob Dylan voice. I don't know where it comes from. It just happens. It seems to happen every time I do it. But yeah. Now, we're also going to do those G sus chords as a little intro as well. So you can, as an intro, you can just hit G, put that little finger down. Isn't that nice? And you can do it whenever you want. It doesn't have to be exactly that rhythm, and as I'm doing it, it just adds a little bit of texture to it. Now, this song has, like a lot of Bob Dylan songs, it has an incredible amount of verses. There's one Bob Dylan song which has 17 verses. This one isn't quite so bad. I think it's about 8 verses. And we managed to fit 6 on the page, but there is a verse 7 and another chorus as well. So what I'll do, when we get to the end of verse 6 here, just keep going and I'll sing it for you, so we can have the whole song performed. And then later on, you can either go and find the lyrics yourself, or we might update the sheets with the rest of the lyrics on there. So when we get to end of verse 6, just keep playing. And you'll notice the structure of this one's really easy. It just goes verse, bridge. Remember, bridge means chorus, it's interchangeable. Verse, bridge, verse, bridge, verse, bridge, verse, bridge, verse, bridge, verse, bridge. So in effect, basically what you're doing is you're playing that and that and that and that and that and that and that, just again and again, so you can't get lost. Now, I think after the 4th verse and bridge, just to create a bit of dynamic and give you guys a chance to practice it, because I know you guys like doing it, we'll take a little solo. And if you don't want a solo, you can just strum the chords with me. That's absolutely fine. But if you want to have a go at a solo, for this one, you're going to use your G major or E minor pentatonic. And this is in your scale and reference sheet. These are completely free to download. You'll find them in the description and a link in the comments. I'll put it on screen for now anyway. So G major pentatonic, that's our My Girl pentatonic, the one that sounds like My Girl by the Temptations. We're going to start way up here. If I angle so you can see my dots, I'm going to start way up here at the 7th fret of the C string. We're going to go up to 9, 7, 10, 7, 10. Okay, so 7, 9, 7, 10, 7, 10. And you can combine that with the E minor pentatonic, which is 4, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7. Hopefully some of you are starting to get used to these scales. They sound really nice. So E minor pentatonic, G major. And somewhere I think I've got a backing track. Let me see if I can play it for you. Yeah, here it is. So you could do... have a little experiment and see what you can come up with. You can also use the G blues scale if you want, which is 7, 10, and then 8, 9, 10, and then 7, 10 down there. That gives you a kind of a bit of a bluesier feel to it. If I go back and play that again, it gives that kind of... You could combine it with the E minor. So just have a little play around there. I don't want to go on too much about soloing tonight. Some people enjoy it, some people don't. So if you fancy it, use your G major and E minor pentatonic, or your G blues scale will sound really nice on this one as well. Oh, thank you, Ewan. That's really kind of you to say. I love this one. This is this one will come to my grave with me. It's by Bo Hannum. He's a brilliant builder. That's the River Severn. I live about here, and I grew up about here, and I went to uni down here. So it's really precious to me, this river. It means a lot to me. So I had Bo put it on the headstock, and in the right angle it says "Here be dragons" in Latin on it as well, which is kind of crazy. It's mad, right? Okay, let's have a go. Oh, I've put my scribbles up. That's like showing everyone underneath the bonnet. I shouldn't be doing that. Let me see. Here we go. Let's bring the clean copy on. It'd be better. There we go. Fantastic. So I'll keep these on screen and then just keep going round. Oh, hang on. Sheila had a question just before I do it. How come you can't solo with just the G major scale? Oh, Sheila, that is a great question. I was talking about this to someone recently. It was one of my students, I think, or it might be one of my mates. I can't remember which one. And we were talking about why we use pentatonics, why they exist, what's the reason. Basically, when we play the pentatonic scale, we take out two of the notes that clash with certain chords. So some of the notes in a major scale will clash with some chords. I'll give you an example. So if we're doing the G major pentatonic, and we have this note here, this is a C note here. That's in the major scale, isn't it? Okay, that C note there, it clashes, when we're playing a G, it clashes with the B note in a G chord. If you play a G chord whilst I hit that, it will sound a bit horrible to the ears. So we take that one out. And likewise, if we're playing this F sharp note, that would clash with other chords. So basically, two of the notes in any pentatonic scale, in any major scale, they clash with some of the diatonic chords, the natural chords that come up in a key. So what we do is, by taking away the 4th and the 7th scale degree, we're left with 5 notes which sound brilliant over any of the chords in the key, which is really neat. It basically means you can't go wrong. That's the idea. And it's not just kind of a cheat sort of way of playing it. Guitarists particularly have used this for decades. It's what guitar, in fact, pentatonic scales go back hundreds of years. It's one of the few scales that they found on every major populated continent in their traditional music, which is interesting. And that's why. But other musicians, particularly jazz musicians, they prefer to use the whole major scale because you can get more colour from those notes. And the only thing is, you have to be careful. So you just have to know when you're playing a C chord or when you're playing a G chord, not to play a C note over the top. And that's another thing to think about. So to make soloing easier, we generally play pentatonics. And I was talking to, I think it was Linda, my student and friend Linda. We're talking about it in her lesson. And people have started to sing in pentatonics as well. So people like Ed Sheeran and Taylor Swift, if you analyse their melodies, what they actually sing, they're tending to use pentatonic notes. And a lot of that comes out of the Brit school and modern music schools, where they're teaching the pentatonics quite a lot, because it means that people can't go wrong, basically. That's where it comes from. So yeah, you can use a full major scale, but pentatonics is easier, basically. You can't go wrong. I hope that made sense. Okay, let's give it a go then. So we're just going to keep going. Verse, bridge, over and over and over like that. Just keep on going between the two, and I have loads of fun with this. And it's a beautiful song. Let me just take a sip of my coffee. I always end up drinking cold coffee at Kanikapila. Here we go. I'll bring up the sheets on here a second. Okay, just a second. There we go. Here we go. So let's just do a G and then a G sus4 to get us going. Couple more. morning the sun was shining. I was laying in bed, wondering if she'd changed her law or if her hair was still red. Her folks, they said our lives together sure was gonna be rough. They didn't like mama's homemade dress, papa's bank book wasn't big enough. And I was standing at the side of the road, rain falling on my shoes, heading out for the East Coast. Lord knows I've paid my dues, getting through, tangled up in blue. She was married when we first met, soon to be divorced. I helped her out of the jam, I guess, but I used a little too much force. We drove that car as fast as we could, abandoned it out west, split up on a dark, sad night, both agreeing it was best. She turned around to look at me while I was walking away. I heard her say over my shoulder, we'll meet again someday on the avenue, tangled up in blue. Well, I had a job in the Great North Woods, working as a cook for a spell, but I never did like it all that much, and one day the axe just fell. So I drifted out to New Orleans, where I was lucky just to be employed, working for a while on a fishing boat right outside of Delacroix. But all the while I was alone, the past was close behind. I've seen a lot of women, but she never escaped my mind, and I just grew, tangled up in blue. Well, she was working in a topless place, and I stopped in for a beer. I just kept looking at the side of her face in the spotlight, they're so clear. And later on, when the crowd thinned out, I was just about to do the same. She was standing there in the back of my chair. She said to me, don't I know your name? I muttered something underneath my breath. She studied the lines of my face. I must admit I felt a little uneasy when she bent down to tie the laces of my shoes, tangled up in blue. Let's take a solo, guys. So first chorus. And again for a verse. Try those pentatonic notes, or the G blues scale. Lisa, you're right. And the next bit. Get ready for another verse. She lit a burner on the stove and offered me a pipe. I thought you'd never say hello, she said, you look like the silent type. Then she opened up a book of poems and handed it to me, written by an Italian poet from the 13th century. And every one of those words rang true and glowed like a burning coal, pouring off of every page like it was written in my soul, from me to you, tangled up in blue. I live with them home on Montague Street, in a basement down the stairs. There was music in the cafes at night and revolution in the air. Then he started into dealing with slaves, and something inside of him died. She had to sell everything she owned and froze up inside. And then finally when the bottom fell out, I became withdrawn. The only thing I knew how to do was keep on, keeping on like a bird that flew, tangled up in blue. One more verse and chorus. So now I'm going back again, I gotta get to her somehow. All the people we used to know, well, they're an illusion to me now. Some are mathematicians, some are carpenters' wives. Don't know how it got it all started, I don't know what they do with their lives. But me, I'm still on the road, heading for another joint. Always did feel the same, we just came from a different point of view. Tangled up in blue. Well done, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know how you got on, folks. That's a long one, isn't it? It's really long. I think we got to 8 verses in the end. But yeah, there's a couple of Dylan songs which are much longer than that, and sometimes he goes on for really long solos as well. But I kind of like that. There's a few songs on Blonde on Blonde like that, isn't there? Which is kind of interesting. So yeah, we did squeeze them in, Esther. I think that might be why we've left off some verses and stuff. We might have just run out of space, I think. This is a song we did a long time ago, and I think all of our quality control's a bit better, isn't it, recently? And some of these old ones we didn't quite get 100% right, but it was close enough, and hopefully you all enjoyed it anyway. What a way to open an album as well. I mean, it's just such a cracking opener. I love Blood on Tracks. It's just such a fantastic album. My absolute favourite Dylan album was New Morning. I just love a kind of mixture of folk, and then you've got a little bit of blues and a bit pop, but it's really relaxed. New Morning. That's the one that has If Not For You, you know, the track that George Harrison covered, If Not For You, and that's a beautiful song as well. So yeah. That's all right, Joe. Doesn't matter. I was actually going to say that at the start, but I forgot. Don't sweat the strumming patterns too much. As long as you're playing in the same time as us, that's absolutely fine. You could even do a straight up and down for this one, which would work as well. And if you're really in doubt and you're really getting thrown off by the strum patterns, just go to a straight down strum, and that would be fantastic. The other thing that I recommend sometimes, not that I'm saying any of you were, but if anyone did struggle at any point to keep up, sometimes it's good just to practice playing one chord per measure. So as I'm going, you could do that way. You're still playing along and you're still practicing these brilliant chord changes, which is a really good thing to do, but it just takes a bit of the pressure off, which is always good. Yeah, me too, Stefan. I'm a massive Dylan fan. I love it. But don't worry, Karen. No, it's absolutely fine. It's because they're the old ones, isn't it, Karen? And we played them through before and didn't notice. So I think we're just all a bit better at paying at noticing things like that. I might have even played it through and not noticed it was missing verses. But it's all cool. That's fine. We got through it. I've checked all the other ones and they're all fine anyway. So it's only that Wrapped Up in Blue that had the error on it. So the rest of them are all absolutely fine. So, carrying on with our colour theme, I thought we could have a go at a Coldplay song. So we're going to have a look at Yellow next, which is, well, you all know it's a fantastic song by Coldplay, written in the year 2000, this one. And I actually saw Coldplay. This sounds like I'm name dropping or whatever. It's not a fancy thing, but I actually saw them in a pub in Devon, because I spent a lot of time living in Devon, playing to about 20 people. And I think they were supporting Muse. And I thought, oh, nothing's going to come of these guys. And it turns out they became the biggest band in the world for a period, which is crazy. My auntie, who still lives in Devon, I think she babysat him at one point, Chris Martin as well, which is kind of cool. She lives in a tiny village called Shillingford St George. I think I've got that right. Anyway, enough of that. This is a really simple but brilliant song. I think in the key of G again. So we've got similar chords here. We've got some lovely major sevenths and minor sevenths to make it really, really lovely, which is great. They recorded this at Rockfield Studio, which is Monmouth, just down the road from where I live now in the Forest of Dean. Lots of bands have recorded there. Oasis, New Order, all sorts of bands have gone to Rockfield, Stone Roses and Coldplay. And apparently Chris was out taking a break from the studio, and he was looking up at the stars, and that's where the one of the lines from the song came from. And apparently the colour just came from seeing a Yellow Pages, and he said that it just rhymed perfectly. All of this stuff, if you're interested, is in Karen's brilliant fascinating facts in the back. If you don't read them before we play the songs, it's really worth reading it afterwards. I love it. It's almost like having a little mini music magazine in the back of our Kanikapila sheets, which is fantastic. So yeah. And Esther and Karen and Indrano for help. You guys do an amazing job with the sheets. Normally, if there's a mistake, it's my fault in the first place. I haven't put something right in the first place, so don't sweat it. Okay, so let's have a look at this one then. So we're in the key of G, and this one is largely built on the 1, the 4 and the 5 chord. And in any key, those are the most important chords. The 1 chord sets you off on your journey or gives you resolution, as I've said before. The 4 chord, in this case C, G, A, B, C, creates a sense of change without creating too much drama. And then the 5 chord is about adding tension. And the 5 chord likes to go back to the 1 chord. Sometimes it goes straight back to the 1 chord. Other times it goes back via the 4 chord like we've got here, which is really, really nice. So the intro and interludes that we're going to do are really simple 1, 4, 5 chords. So we've got a G chord like this. Ah, Joe, that would have been my dream to see the Beatles on one of their early tours. How cool would that have been? Amazing. So the G chord is our 1 chord. Now we're going to mostly just strum straight 8s on this. So what that means, I'll stay on close cam, is you strum down with either your index finger nail or 3 or 4 nails, but you do very light down strums. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The reason we call them straight 8s because in kind of Americanized ways of thinking about it, an 8th note, in Britain we kind of think of those as quavers, but in around the world they're known as 8th notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and gives us 8 notes in a measure, and that's where the name comes from. So we just strum down 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now the beauty of this strum is that every time you strum down, you've got to come back up, right? It's just physics. You have to come back up to be able to go down, right? So if you want, you can thicken up that strum at any point just by touching on an up strum. Hear that? Occasionally I just allow my finger to touch on the up strum, and that thickens it up. So sometimes when you get to the bits where you're feeling really passionate and you want to really thicken up that strum and make it heavier, add those up strums in. It's really lovely. But just for basics, just that straight 8 down strum. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with our bog standard G. Got 2 measures of that. Then the tension of the 5 chord, D major. Change to the 4 chord. Allows it to breathe for a minute. And then we're back to our 1 chord for the resolution. that's the intro and all the interludes. You can also do a little solo over the interlude in a minute, which I'll show you in a minute. Now the verses have a really similar thing going on. It's almost exactly the same chords, but slightly more sophisticated. So the verses we start on G, same timing. Then we go to the 5 chord again, that D. Now this time when we play the 4 chord, we play it as a C major 7. So rather than a C major here, we play a C major 7. I like to use my second finger because then when I go back to a G, I can just put 2 down. And then at the end, if you like to, you can add your little finger on the 3rd fret of the A string for this G sus4. And you can either leave it on for the whole measure, or I like to put it on for the first couple of beats. And then take it off again. All right. So that's the verses. That's C major 7. It's just like a C major, and it has the notes C, E, and G in it. But instead of having another C, we have the B. And that B is the 7th note in the key of C. That's how it gets its name. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And that 7th note, adding that B in, just makes it sound a bit more unresolved and sophisticated and lush, which is really, really lovely. I'll stay on close camera and I'll try a verse so you can see how it works. Oh, let me just get the lyrics up a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at the stars, look how they shine for you. And everything you do. Isn't that lovely, that chord? Yeah, they were all yellow. Then we would do that again. I wrote this song for you. And all the things you do. And it was all yellow. And the first time we do that, we actually play 3 of those verses. We actually do 3 of those verses just to fill up the space. He adds a little extra one in. Then in the chorus, we start on the change chord. And you've probably heard me banging on about this at loads of Kanikapilas. That's the most common chord to start a new section of music in, because it creates a sense of change and a sense of movement. So that's what we've got here. It's really lovely. We've got this C major 7 again, and this is the your skin. Then we go to the E minor 7, quite a sad sounding chord, the 6th chord. The reason that chord works beautifully after the C major 7 is there's only 1 note difference. Lovely bit of voice leading. And then we scooch up to a D chord. Okay. So there's a whole measure of C major 7, half a measure of E minor 7, half a measure of D. So 6, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. And you guys, again, you've heard me say this a million times probably if you've done Kanikapila before. That NC at the end, it means no chord, but really it should be 1 chord. We strum on the first beat of that measure and then just let it hang. And then we go to one of these interludes, basically. So nice and easy. That's pretty much the whole song. We've got an outro, which is only different in that it goes into this ending, so it's ever so slightly different from the normal interlude. It's almost the same, but not quite. It's got the major 7 in it. So just watch for that. When we do the outro, we've got G. Whoops. There it is. Then D, then C major 7. I love this chord. Back to G. Yeah, I'd probably take it out, Esther. Another D, C major 7. Then we've got this ending where we have G. Then he changes it. He puts in a really unusual chord to tickle the ears, a D minor 7. You could get away with a normal D minor, but D minor 7 sounds beautiful here. Just a D minor with your little finger here on the 3rd fret of the A string. Isn't that lovely? And then we have the C major 7 at the end to finish. All right. So that's this bit. The ending goes, look at the stars, look how they shine for you. Isn't that lush? And all the things you do. We just leave it hanging on that C major 7. Really gorgeous. Coldplay get really knocked for being like a real simplistic band. I guess the lyrics aren't particularly like that thought out, but then you could say that about Beatles songs and all sorts. And I think the chords in this is really, really, really gorgeous actually. So yeah, melancholy, exactly. I think I'm a melancholic soul, Sylvia, so these songs appeal to me. They're Fix You as well. Oh gosh, that really gets me in the heartstrings, that one. That's absolutely beautiful. Now, structure of this one, we've got intro, which is just indicated at the top. Then verse, 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 3 verses, a chorus. An interlude, which is the same as the intro again. And then the next time, 2 verses, verse, verse, chorus. Another one of those interludes, and then the outro and the ending. All right. So basically, anytime we're doing an intro or an interlude, this bit, verse, 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 chorus. Then we have an interlude, verse, verse, chorus. Then an interlude, and then we go to the outro and ending. I'll talk you through it anyway, where we are in the song, so you can see whereabouts we are. If you did want to do a solo on the interludes, on those short little interludes bit, you can use the G major and E minor pentatonics that we used before. Let me just bring it up one more time, just as a quick reminder, because we're still playing in the key of G, the same as the last one, which is great. So these are the scales. Now for this one, because Coldplay tend to do this, it's just their style, and I think it works really well. Often when I solo over this, I'll just do like really simple soloing. I won't do loads of notes. Sometimes even 2 notes can be really effective. And that's what I've forgotten the name of the guitarist, but that's what the guitarist in Coldplay does loads. On Fix You, he has a whole solo, which is just 2 notes. So you could do something like this. Just watch this. I'm just going to hit this. Quite effective. It sounds better on an electric guitar when it's played really, really loud at a festival or something. But I love how when you solo, you don't need to do like a million notes a minute. Sometimes just something really simple sounds really glorious. So have a little Joe, you beaten Tranny to it. Have a little go at that and see what you can come up with on those intros and interludes. All right, let's give it a go. Let me just bring up my lyrics on my iPad so I can see what I'm doing. If you're wondering why I'm staring off into the distance, I've got all the lyrics on a different iPad so I can have both out at the same time. And I'm trying not to waste paper now, so I'm trying to be good. Okay, right, let me just take final slip of coffee and we'll get going. Wow, that was like iced coffee. There we go. Right, intro first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look how they shine for you, and all the things you do, and it was called Yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you, and all the things you do, and it was called Yellow. And then I took my turn. Oh, what a thing to have done. And it was all yellow. Is that chorus? Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turning in something beautiful. Do you know I love you so. You know I love you so. Interlude. Here's our next verse. I swam across, I jumped across for you. Oh, what a thing to do, 'cause you were all yellow. I drew a line, I drew a line for you. Oh, what a thing to do, and it was all yellow. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turning to something beautiful. Do you know I bleed myself dry? For you I bleed myself dry. Hit that solo. Remember, it doesn't have to be loads of notes. Keep it going, one more. Now the outro and the ending. It's true, look how they shine for you. Look how they shine for you. Look how they shine for. Look how they shine for you. Look how they shine for you. Look how they shine. Look at the stars. Look how they shine for you. And all the things you do. Ah, what a great song. I like that one. It's fantastic. That D minor 7 chord at the end, isn't it lovely? How it really perks the ears up. You're expecting like the 5 chord or the 4 chord, and you get the 5 chord to the minor 7. It's just a really beautiful thing to do. So I won't have it said that they're rubbish songwriters. I think that's a really gorgeous song. So there we go. We'll take a break there. I think I showed the solo option, didn't I? Esther with the pentatonics and stuff, I think. But I don't know. Maybe my brain's gone to porridge. Thanks, Adrani. Did you enjoy that one? Let us know how you got on with that one, guys. Hope you liked it. It's a simple song, but a really beautiful one. I think really, really lovely. We've actually been getting ahead of ourselves for future weeks. Me, Esther, and Karen thinking about what songs that we could do. And at some point, we're actually going to have a Coldplay special. So that's one of the ones we've got on the back burner, because we've done quite a few Coldplay songs now. And they work really well for Kanikapila, because they tend to be quite simple chords, but really beautiful, which is lovely. So, yeah. Maybe he was thinking about Marge Simpson. Did you know Coldplay actually made it onto The Simpsons? There's an episode with them on, which is great. Even, you know, Bell and Sebastian, that Scottish band that I love, Karen, and they made it onto... out onto The Simpsons as well, which is quite amazing. Stuart Murdoch was dead chuffed. Beautiful. Thanks, Sylvia. Isn't it lovely? So we'll just take a break before we do our last two songs. Just a reminder, if you're still interested, get in touch with Donna and Harry. Links are all on the website, Ukulele Festival of Great Britain, and then just click on Caribbean Cruise. Come to the Caribbean with me. Ahoy, love! We're going to sail around the Caribbean seas. Not going to be pirates, but we're going to play lots of ukulele. We're going to see flamingos, butterflies, we're going to see dolphins. We're going to have an amazing time. And I'm going to teach you lots and lots of lovely ukulele stuff, which is going to be superb. That's at the end of February, start of March. Come and join us if you can. I cannot wait. And then don't forget, we've got my live lesson coming up this Wednesday. Now, even if you think, oh my gosh, punk band, what? There's no way I'm interested in playing Green Day songs. This is a beautiful acoustic song that they did. Time of Your Life, it's otherwise known as. And I'm going to show you some really simple but beautiful ways of taking chords up the fretboard. So even if you don't like Green Day, it's worth joining me for this one and taking part. That's going to be this Wednesday at 3:30. For some reason I didn't put time on it, but always 3:30 for our live lessons. You can watch them back anytime. They're all archived on my website as well, so members can find all of those old live lessons, and there's literally hundreds of them, so much learning on there. I've archived them all. Plus, of course, you'll find my 10 courses now. Beginners, intermediate, next steps, which are sequential and follow on from each other. Fingerstyle, uke theory. There's one about how to look after your ukulele called Uke TLC. There's blues and jazz ukulele, which I'm really proud of that one. I love that course. Fingerstyle ukulele, and now the Beatles one as well. And I've just done, on the Beatles course, we've just done Dear Prudence as the last one, which is a gorgeous song that John Lennon wrote when he was out in Rishikesh with the Maharishi. Off the White Album, that one, hence the white background and the grey writing and everything. There's also a Penny Lane one on there as well, which we did the first for the first one as well. So, and there's going to be a new lesson every 1 or 2 weeks on there. So I think it's going to be 2 weeks to the next one. Just as I said, I'm writing a chord melody and doing all the arrangements for it, so it's going to be quite detailed, that one. So it's going to take me a little bit of time to get it together and edit it, but I think you're going to really enjoy it. So you can either join the course now and do the lessons as and when they come up. Really, I'd like people to spend 1 or 2 weeks or more on each lesson anyway, because I want you to really absorb it and take it all in. Or you can wait until the course is complete and you can do the whole thing in one go. Don't forget to like the video tonight if you can on YouTube. It really helps with the algorithms. If you can give it a few likes, that'd be fantastic. If anyone's feeling generous and they want to send me a few quid to help with the running costs, I'm always going to keep Kanikapila free. It will never be monetized. But if you want to support me, it's not there anymore. It's in the description in the links. It's paypal.me/the Uke Room if you'd like to send me a few bob. That'd be really, really kind. I think that's everything I needed to let you know for now. So could probably get on and have a look at our third song, I think. So this one was kind of an obvious choice because of the title, True Colours. And also, I really like Cyndi Lauper. I kind of grew up feeling, oh, she's just like a pop singer, and it's kind of girls just want to have fun and all that, blah 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 blah. But actually, her songs are really beautifully sophisticated. Her voice is gorgeous. The way she performs them is really lovely. We did a couple of hers in the last few months, and I thought we'd have a look at True Colours, which is gorgeous. It was written by Billy Steinberg and Tom, I can't read my own handwriting, Tom somewhere other, for her. And originally they envisaged it as quite an epic pop song, like quite big and bombastic. They also, to give you some idea, they also wrote Like a Virgin for Madonna. That's the kind of stuff that they're really well known for. But Cyndi Lauper took it and she made it really melancholy. She wanted to perform it really, really sensitively. And I think that's really such a beautiful thing to do with this song, and it works really gorgeously. So her voice is really soft in the verses, and then she really builds up in the choruses. We have some lovely synth work as well in this one, which is really, really lovely. There we go. Girls do want to have fun, and boys. We all do, don't we? It's all good. I've not done it yet, Karen. I'm absolutely going to. Yeah, I will absolutely do that. Yeah, fantastic. So this one is there's quite a lot going on for this one. So this is going to be one of the rare exceptions in Kanikapila where I'm not going to go into the Nashville numbers in a lot of detail. I'm going to talk more about just the actual chords, just because it's easier to follow that way. Okay, it's just a bit more simple. We're in the key of A minor for this one. So minor keys tend to have a more melancholic or slightly dark quality, which kind of makes sense with the verses, especially in this one. It does lift in the chorus. So we still have chords with a similar property. And also, because A minor is the relative minor to C major, every major key has a relative minor with all the same chords and notes. All the chords that you see come up are the same ones that you'll find in the key of C, which people refer to often as the people's key, because it's all those nice chords, right, that we all love. A minors, G, Fs, all the nice ones. No horrible flatted chords or anything like that. So the chords are relatively simple to play. It's just following it along because there's quite a lot of chords quite quickly. Okay. So first of all, we're going to do this lovely intro and interlude for this one. And I could do a similar strum pattern to the last song. I'm just going to do down strums. But I'm going to add a little up on the end. So you can think of it as down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Or phonetically, like I like to think about things, walk, 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 running, walk, 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 running, walk, 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 running, walk, 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 running. Really that simple. You can even just do down strums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be absolutely fine as well. No problem at all. So we start off the one chord as always, or not always, but mostly. And this one's going to be an A minor in this case. Then we go to a G chord, that's a 7 chord in this key. C and F. And we just do that round and round. A minor, G, C, F. Join in with me. A minor, G, C, and F. Again, A minor, G, C, and F. A minor, G, and C, and F. Now, it's kind of interesting. The verses would have worked perfectly well like that and really would have been really straightforward. But Billy Steinberg, when he wrote it, he did some kind of interesting things with it. It pauses on chords that you wouldn't expect it to. So when you have a look at the verse, it looks completely different. But look at the first 4 chords. It's still C, G, sorry, A minor G, C and then F. It's just that the C and the F, they have a whole measure to themselves. So the verse, we have A minor, G, then we rest on C. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 Fs. 2, 3, 4. Then we do a similar thing, A minor G. And then instead of going C, F, we go C, D minor. Then C, F, A minor, G, D minor, and C. That last bit's really lovely. Isn't that sweet? Okay, let's try verse. Let me bring some chorus, some lyrics up. I'll stay on close cam so you can copy my fingers. 1, 2, 3. You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged. Oh, I realise it's hard to take courage in a world full of... Oh, sorry, I've gone horribly wrong. I didn't play those for half as long as I should. I'm going to do that again. 2, 3. You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged. Oh, I realise it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you can make you feel small. And that leads us beautifully into the chorus, which everyone knows, the F to the C. I see your true colours, G, shining through. And again, you think it's going to do the same thing again, F, C, G, but there's a sneaky extra F in there. I see your true colours, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid. D minor, A minor, the end of the day. F, C, true colours. Again, true colours. G, you're beautiful like a rainbow. Yeah, lovely, really nice. Beautiful chords, right? Really kind of rich and sophisticated. And again, it's a great pop song, but really, really beautiful as well, which is lovely. Okay. Now, when we do the final chorus, we do all of the same chords, except, can you see that little speech bubble? The D minor in the second line, we change to an E7. It's just, it works because it's 5 above the A minor that follows it. A really unusual thing to do. Again, it's a bit like adding a little bit of salt and pepper into a song, a bit of sophistication just to lift it. So the final chorus will sound like this. I see, can I sing that line? True colours. No, I'm going to have to go. I see your true colours shining through. I see your true colours. That's why I love you, so don't be afraid. Here, E7, to let it show. True colours are beautiful like a rainbow. Yeah, lovely. Nice, right? Works really well. Oh, nice, Stefan. Got a picking pattern going. I like it. Yeah, that sounds nice. So 4, 3, 2, 1, 3. Let's have a think. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Ah, nice. Stefan's got a lovely picking pattern. I'm going to show you that because that's really nice. So say you're on a chord. Stefan's picking the G string, C string, these two together, and then back to this one. That's lovely, Stefan. Yeah, really nice one to pick to this because it's so gentle, isn't it? If you find that tricky and you want a simpler one, you could just do inside outside, which is really nice as well. So yeah, fantastic. Okay, now I don't think we'll have, I don't think we've got the ability to solo on this one because we've got the interludes, I suppose. So I guess we could, yeah, actually, if you want to have a go at solo when we're doing the interlude. For this one, we can use the A minor pentatonic because we're in the key of A minor. Now that's really easy. That's all of your dots. I'll bring the scales reference on just quickly. That's all of the dots on your A string. So open A, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 10th fret, and 12th fret. Basically, anywhere there's a dot on your A string, you can play any of those notes. You can do the same on the E string, only avoid the 7th fret, go up to the 8th. And you can also play the little C major pentatonic, which is off 2, on the C string, off 3 on the E string, and off 3 on the A string. So that's absolutely fine as well. I think I might have recorded backing tracks this one. Let me have a look. Yeah, I did actually. So I was just doing something along the A string. So just an example, you could do something like this. Something like that. Have a little experiment yourself. So you could do that on the interludes if you'd like to. In this one, that would sound really, really nice. So I bring the chords back on the front and I give this a go. This one I've kept in A minor because it keeps the chords really nice on ukulele. But as you've probably told already, it's way too high or low in my register. I've either got to go low like Barry White or high like Barry Gibb. And I'm not very good at either, so I'm going to go low. But if you wonder why it sounds strange, that's why I can't sing like Cyndi Lauper. I wish I could. That would be amazing. Okay, so I think that's it. So just take it really, really easy. Just down strums if you find it tricky, and let's have loads of fun. I don't know if I went through the structure, but just in case, we've got that intro, which is just the A minor G C F bit. Then we go verse, chorus, interlude, which is just the intro again. Verse, chorus, interlude, which is the intro, and verse, chorus. So I think relatively straightforward. Just think interlude, verse, chorus, interlude, verse, chorus, interlude, verse, chorus. That's the easiest way of thinking about it. Makes sense? Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. I'll stay here. Here we go. 1, 2. Oh, I haven't got my lyrics up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged. Oh, I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you can make you feel small. But I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful like a rainbow. Interlude. Show me a smile then. Don't be unhappy, can't remember the last I saw you laughing. If this world makes you crazy and you've taken all you can bear, call me up, 'cause you know I'll be there. And I'll see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let it show. us. If this world makes you crazy and you've taken all you can bear, call me up, because you know I'll be there. I see your true colours shining through. I see your true colours. That's why I love you. Don't be afraid, E7, to let them show your true colours. True colours are beautiful like a rainbow. Yeah, lovely. It's a pretty song, isn't it? A pretty little song. Really, really, really gorgeous, that one. So I hope you enjoyed that. Something a bit different as well. It's nice to play songs in a minor key. Often, I don't know why. I don't tend to play much minor key stuff, but it's always really lovely and melancholy when we do. So I should seek them out. I think sometimes minor key stuff can sound a little bit dark, can't it? But if it's handled in the right way, I think it can just sound really sensitive and beautiful. So yeah, that's a lovely song, that one, isn't it? Yeah. Great. Thank you. Nice. Cool. Yeah, so we've got something absolutely nuts to finish on. So every week, or most weeks, occasionally we don't, because we might have a theme where we need to squeeze 4 songs in. But generally, every week Karen will go on the Facebook group, and you should join if you haven't already. It's called Uke Students Hangout, Learn Ukulele with Matt. And basically it's a group where we all get together. I give you challenges each month, so you can write about you can record yourself playing about certain themes and songs and things like that. You can post whatever you like there. People are really supportive. You can ask questions about ukulele. It's well worth a look. Also, the forum has really taken off recently as well. So if you go to the website, mattsteadukulele.com, and click forum, there's a really cool ukulele forum for all my students there as well, which is great. So if you're not on Facebook, there's still that one. But Karen, every week on Facebook, she'll have a poll where she'll suggest some songs from the Kanikapila Vault, stuff that we've done over the years, because we've been going for a while now and we've got hundreds of songs under our belts. And you guys choose whichever song you want to do. For some reason, you guys always choose the hardest song. I don't know if you're being mean to me or yourselves, because you always choose the hardest one. I'm always like, what? That one. But there's a reason. They're always really great songs. So I'm only joking. It's good fun to do this stuff as well. But this is quite an unusual song. This is quite out there, really. This was on Bauer's album Low, where he worked with producer and keyboardist and musician Brian Eno. And lots of the songs are really unusual. They don't follow the normal verse, chorus format that you'll find in a lot of songs. This is one of those examples because most of the song is instrumental, believe it or not. We just have kind of these instrumental parts. You have these nice kind of these lovely kind of almost like riff bits, which is really lovely. And then we've even got a little bit tabbed up. So we're going to kind of do all the instrumental stuff and make it sound really nice in this one as well. So absolutely. Yeah, loads. No, I knew what you meant, Sylvia. Yeah, I think it's my favourite as well. Yeah, I absolutely love it. It's got such a moodiness to it, hasn't it? Which is really lovely. It's just brilliant. So we do this kind of long instrumental. And then we play through the whole of this verse instrumentally as well, which is kind of interesting in itself. So probably the easiest thing is if I go over it step by step and explain all the different steps, and then we'll kind of figure putting it together each other as well, which is great. Lynn loves this one as well. Nice. Do you know what? I'm not actually sure what my favourite Bowie song is. I'm a big fan of Heroes, but I don't know. It might be this one. So in the intro, we have this chorus to start off with, which is again really common chords that you'd expect to come up in the key of G, the 1, 2, and the 5 chords. Really kind of straightforward stuff. Yeah, I know, it is amazing, and there's all the different time periods as well, isn't there, Stefan? Which is quite cool. So you got all those different time periods. I'll tell you what I really like, which is really unusual because I hated it growing up. But I really like dance now. Let's dance. You can stand in the moonlight and dance the blues. It's just so groovy. I just love it. Oh, thanks, Jenny. Thank you. So the intro to this one, we're going to do this chorus. And you could just do standard calypso strum or down, 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 up. That down, 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 up if you like. And we just have G. Minor, D chord, back to G. We're going to do that twice. Now, if you want to be fancy pants and you want to make it sound like the original, what you can do is you can pick an A, B note. That just means off 2. I like to do it as a hammer-on. So I'll click the open A string and then push down really hard with my second finger like that. Yeah, the white G era was brilliant. I even loved growing up. I loved Labyrinth, although David Bowie scared the heck out of me in Labyrinth. You remind me of the Babe. What Babe? The babe of the power. What power? The power of voodoo. Hoodoo. Do what? You remind me of the Babe. I can't believe I remember that. Right, enough of that. So we hit this 0, 2. And then you just go into whichever chord, so like a G, like this. You could do it on the A minor as well. And you can even do it on the D. Whoops, I missed it there. So if you want it to kind of sound a little bit more like that, da da da, you can add that in. Otherwise, just strum. You can even hum it, da da da, 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 and we're going to do that twice through. Then we've got this next section. You've got 2 choices. You can either just play the chords, da 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 da, A minor 7, just no fingers, open strings, da 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 da, like that. Or if you want to play the actual riff, we've got it tabbed out here. It's all of the strings open. And then 2 off, that's B, A. Put your finger on the 3rd fret of the E string for a G. And then hammer on E to G. So if I put that together. So that's the kind of the riff and the intro and everything. So that twice and then that twice. Then we're going to play through the whole of the verse instrumentally. Now, if you want, you can still keep adding your little 0-2s on. Or you can just play through the chords as they go, just strum them, really nice. If you're strumming them, it's really simple, the verse, just got G. Quite strung out these chords, A minor. Back to G. Then we do it again, G. 3rd line, A minor. Then Then the fourth line, C to G. 1, 2, G, 2, C, 2, 3, 4, G. Then we do it again. C and G and C and G. Then at the bottom we've got A minor, D, and then E minor. It's really arresting, that chord. And then that takes you back to the start, basically, where we go back to the start. So really unusual structure, isn't it, for a song? Really odd. So in effect, in terms of the structure, we're doing this twice, the whole of this once. And then we're going to go back to this one here, this chorus. But when we go back and we're singing it, we're not going to do this riff. We're going to go straight from there into the verse. So once we've done all this instrumentally, it'll sound like this. Don't you wonder sometimes about some vision? Then D. Then we're going to go straight to the verse. All right, and we just play it out to the end. So it's so hard to explain. Hopefully you'll get what I'm bagging on about. This twice, this twice, this once, this once, this once, and that's the whole song. All right, one more time, instrumentally, twice, twice, once, instrumentally, and then with lyrics, once, once, and that's the whole piece. Yeah. Let's give it a go. Oh, and I think we'll finish with one more chorus at the top. We'll go to the chorus at the end. Hopefully it'll make sense. Let's see. Let's give it our best anyway and see how we get on. It's our last song, so if it all falls apart, we've had fun anyway, right? Yes. Okay, here we go. So I can do a little, but you don't have to, all right? 2, 3. Oh, I made a right hash that. Tell you what, I'm not going to do the 0-2 thing. You guys can have a go at that if you want. I'll keep the rhythm going for everyone else. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, da, da. Those chords again. Da da da, 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 riff. And again. Now the verse chords instrumentally. Da da da, da da da, da da da, go again, G. Da da da, da da, A minor, and G. Now the fourth line, C to G, here we go. C to G. And G. A minor. D. E minor. Don't you wonder sometimes about sound and vision? the colour of my room where I will live. Blue, blue. Pale blind, drawn all day, nothing to read, nothing to say. Blue, blue. I will sit right down, waiting for the gift of sound and vision. And I will sing, waiting for the gift of sound and vision. Drifting into my solitude, over my head. Don't you wonder sometimes about sound and vision? That's it. Isn't that the weirdest song? It's kind of hard to do on the uke. It probably didn't come across amazingly well, but that's fine. We have fun playing around with it, because it needs keyboards, doesn't it? And it needs all that stuff, particularly in the instrumental. Those shimmering synths that come in over the top just make that song. But it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's kind of, you just get into it and it's over. That's it. There's one lot of verses and 2 choruses and that's it. That's the whole song. Really interesting. But that's what makes the album so beautiful. The whole album's like that. Some beautiful kind of instrumental work and stuff on there. Just absolutely fantastic. And the synth work and stuff is great as well. She said, bonkers. It is bonkers. Absolutely. Absolutely. But kind of genius bonkers, right? So, yeah. David Bowie knew how to write something special, didn't he? He was just what an amazing human being. I was quite lucky because you know where I'm at home now. This is my ukulele cupboard. This used to be our walk-in wardrobe, and I've converted it to be my ukulele room. But I used to teach, as you guys probably remember, at Hart's Barn, and I still have that studio. I go there twice a week to do a few bits and bobs. But when I was there, the guy that had the unit above was the son of a very famous photographer called, I think it was Brian Duffy. The song was called Chris Duffy. And he took that really famous Aladdin Sane photo of David Bowie with the zigzag. It's the one that when David Bowie sadly passed away, they graffitied the mural on the wall in Brixton. So I was really lucky. He invited me up a few times and I just looked through all these old photos. And he didn't just photograph David Bowie, he photographed a lot of the stars. But the David Bowie ones were really famous. And he basically made millions out of these photographs, because back in the day people really respected photographers and they got paid a lot of money. And his son now, his job is basically just to look after the archive, which is quite amazing. But there's that famous one with the zigzag, but he's got all the photos of like the makeup going on and all the background scenes and everything. It's just absolutely wonderful. So yeah, that was really fun when I got let in to see all those. That was great. Yeah, definitely. Let us know if you've got any questions with any of that tonight. Yeah, I know what you mean, Indrani. Oh, you should try leading it. It was hard enough. It's hard enough playing it, I tell you. It's like I'm just trying to grasp onto what's going on myself. But it's worth it though, right? It was just fun, wasn't it? So thanks, guys. Thank you. That's really, really lovely of you guys to say. So yeah. Ba-ba-ba. Oh, I don't know. It might have been Stefan. I'm not sure. I need to brush up on my music history. I'll ask Sharon, my wife. She'll know. She's a bit of a musical nerd. So it's all good. Thanks, Harry. Can't wait to meet you in person, Harry. Won't be long now. Well, we know how long. 103 days. I cannot wait. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Thanks, guys. So remember, because you guys were quite interested in the ukuleles that I've been playing, so things like my Bo Hannum and that, live lesson after next, so we're doing Green Day at the next live lesson. The live lesson after that, I'm going to talk you through my ukulele collection. It's not just going to be me showing you all my ukes. I'm going to talk about the different words, why I chose red wood for a particular top and koa, like why did I choose those wood properties, scale lengths, nut widths, things like that. Talk about how to look after your ukuleles, different string types and all that sort of stuff. So if you've had a burning question about, like, think of it, you know how you have software and hardware with computers? Well, our software is the songs and the playing, and the hardware is our ukuleles. So if you've got any questions on your ukulele hardware, write it down so you remember, and then ask it at that session, because I want it to be like a really a real Q&A. So that's going to be in 2 weeks' time on the Wednesdays. But so just have a think. It'd be nice to know if you've got any questions for that one as well. Mine too, Stefan. Mine too. Ah, thank you. It's it's a nice way to get the week underway, isn't it? Definitely, absolutely. You're out of here. Get out of here. Thanks, Karen. I'm quite excited about it. I don't really talk about my ukes a lot. People sometimes ask about them, and I do. But it'd be really nice for me to kind of go through all my collection and see what I've got and show you guys and see if it's kind of inspires you with your ukuleles. Perhaps you guys could send me in some photos of your ukuleles. That'd be quite good fun, and we could bring those on screen as well, which would be great. So yeah, brilliant. All right, guys. Well, I shall love you and leave you. My bell is starting to make noises, so it must be my late dinner time. I'll be back next Monday for another live ukulele jam, another Kanikapila. Cannot wait. Looking forward to it. And hopefully I'll see some of you this Wednesday afternoon. That would be really special if you could make it. Take care, everyone. Much love and happy uking. Bye.